What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome to another episode of Hoy en Día TV. I am Yessie Rodriguez, your host and producer, and I'm going to bring on my co-host, Manny Morales. Welcome to the stage.
Hola, bendiciones, mi gente. Bendiciones. Welcome to El Show. How are you today? How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. It's been a week, but ever since our event last weekend that went very well, having to go back to work was, a
little rough.
Right. But, I always look forward to Thursday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, p.m.
Me too. I feel like we always have a blast, which is great.
Yes.
It's always positive vibes, and we always have some amazing guests. And I agree. Last weekend, shout out to Apex Couture magazine for the VV Show experience. We had a ball, and those interviews are actually going to be coming soon because Manny and I had a chance to do on-location live interviews. At that point, live, obviously. It'll be a different story. But nevertheless, you can get a recap of what we saw and who we interviewed, which was some big stars. So
yes, that was amazing. The people that were there. I'm not going to give it away for the people that are going to have to wait. The suspense is going to have to kill them. But they were just some amazing people. Yes, amazing people. Just knowing that those people are out there doing, what they do, it just brings hope to the, to the future, So it's just amazing. I appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to Apex Couture and Antoine from Apex Couture for actually inviting us. I was supposed to be a vendor with my book, but that really wasn't a setting for my book. So I was like, why don't we do media with Hoy en Día? And, we had him on. He was one of our first guests. So he was on board all the way. So that was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you.
It was. Yes. For those who haven't had a chance to experience what Apex Couture magazine, those events, and then the experience that Antoine offers, I highly recommend those. We had a really good time. Very eventful, very informative, lots of fun. So definitely, if it's coming to a town near you, I definitely recommend.
Definitely. Follow him on social media, Apex Couture magazine on Facebook and Instagram. I'm pretty sure he has a TikTok as well and a YouTube maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, follow him. He has a clothing line as well, so he has some pretty decent drip.
Right, absolutely. And talking about clothing line, you're rocking Collective Wear, aren't you? Yay!
Collective Wear. And I love it. It's comfortable. It's simple. It's not, like all over the place. I love it. It's Collective Wear.
Yeah, shout out to Ra One he's the founder. It's my honey Ra One. Shout out Collective Wear. And so for those who are interested, Collective Wear is one of our sponsors as well. Go under My Rod Enterprise or go under my website, yessierodriguez.com. You can get Collective Wear merch. More is coming soon because guess what? Manny was one of the models for Collective Wear and his picture is going to be posted soon and he did an amazing job. So
yes, I can't wait. That museum was awesome. Like that was an awesome museum y'all have over there.
Well,
shout out to Raleigh. Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had a good time in Raleigh, didn't you?
Yeah, it was cold. But I definitely had a good time. The Airbnb that I had, it was really quiet. Like the neighborhood that I was in, it was really peaceful. Nobody, no bothering, just no noise. It was just very peaceful,
Good. I'm glad. That is awesome. Well, good. And Manny, you mentioned a few moments ago TikTok. So did you hear that apparently on January 19th, TikTok may be banned in the US? Well, it sounds like it's going to be banned. And I say maybe because it looks like they're going up with the Supreme Court to kind of negotiate. But it sounds like it's actually going to be banned. So what are your thoughts about that?
So I've heard a little bit about it. I heard it when the news first came out, but I don't think it's gonna last long. To be honest with you, they make too much money, so they're probably scrambling right now to try to find somebody to run it for them while they still, puppet master behind the scenes. But it's not gonna last long. It's not like it's too much. It's too much going on TikTok. Like it will ruin a lot of people's lives. Definitely.
So I will say this from the research I've done, and I'm looking right now at CNN.com and also some other sites that have information, and you all are welcome to Google it as well, or
Right.
whatever your favorite internet browser is. But TikTok has been heavy on the news, on YouTube, and a lot of major platform with regards to news, simply because, like Manny said, it does provide a lot of revenue for content creators. However, the caveat is that it is a China-based platform. And from what I did on the research, they revenue over $200 billion. That's the actual platform itself. That's how much it's worth. And so the challenge is that they're not trying to sell it, which it makes sense, right? It's worth $200 billion. That's your baby. And you're like, I ain't trying to sell it. And that's pretty much what the U.S. is saying, is that there's a lot of sensitive information from the U.S. people that are that's pretty much unintentionally being offered on TikTok, or I said TikTok. And so what that means is that the U.S. feels that these individuals can hack into accounts or get personal information from people, what have you, and do whatever it is that they may feel they need to do. So for privacy reasons, that's the reason why they are trying to ban TikTok. But I would highly recommend that you all, when you get some downtime, go ahead and do your research, get more insight on that. But just be aware that after January 19th, if you notice your TikTok not working, that's because it's been banned.
My take on that is that, like I said, they're going to find somebody that can run it for them. They're going to pay them, of course, to run it. And they're still going to be behind the scenes. Like, they're not going to sell the company. They're going to have somebody run it for them, because it's too much of a moneymaker, and they have too much, $200 billion. Like, they could buy somebody to run it for them, you know what I'm saying? And make it seem like they own the company. They're going to do something. It might be off for maybe a day or two, at the most a week, but I think it's definitely going to come back.
So I will say, Manny, I see your point, which will make logical sense, but apparently the Supreme Court has been really tough with regards to that. So what they're saying here, and I'm looking, this update actually took place yesterday. I'm under Forbes.com yesterday at 4:39 p.m. It says the fate of TikTok is in the hands of Supreme Court as the nation's highest court prepares to weigh in on the federal law. And that's set to take into effect January 19th, banning the popular social media app unless it's China's based parent company, unless they're willing to sell it. And so what this means, as of yesterday, the Supreme Court announced it will review TikTok's challenge against the federal law that could potentially ban the app. So they have an oral argument taking place on January 10th, just days before the law is set to become effective. And what I mean by law is the ban. Apparently they made it a law, which is interesting. And so that's pretty much what they're saying, is either you sell it or you're banned, is from what I'm reading here. That's the understanding I have. So
and to help our viewers understand, TikTok isn't going away. We just won't be able to use it here in the US. So like, if you go somewhere where they don't have the ban, then it'll work for you. But here in the US, if the Supreme Court gives it the okay, it's over with. A lot of people are going to have to get jobs now. All those people that are making videos and making money, they're going to have to get jobs now. Welcome to the workforce.
Absolutely. Oh gosh. Oh man. So more thoughts and prayers to those content creators. I mean, the good thing is that there's other apps that you can consider. Maybe there's to be an opportunity for people to become more creative than what they already have. But I get it. I mean, especially when you've invested a lot of time, energy, and resources, it is definitely disappointing to see, like, hey, if you're making good money on TikTok, that's
right.
And so that brings up another point, though. Because if you are that type of person that's making good money, then you have a good amount of money, then, hey, consider investing it. Consider flipping that money. What other resources and talents do you have? It's not just about content creation. If you're making let's say if somebody's making well over 10 to 20 grand a month, you could do a lot with that money.
Yeah. And I bet you a lot of them are just blowing it on frivolous things.
Yeah, and even Rawan, he was suggesting go to fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, fan base. So
True.
definitely, y'all check out fan base. I may be able to be a good platform
Yeah.
to help you out. So there are other resources that you can absolutely consider. So just keep your hopes up. It's still what, only the 19th. We are a month away from it being banned, so you have
Mhm.
time to research and
All right.
schedule out, plan out your plan B. So yeah. So Mandy,
Yeah.
we have an awesome guest that you helped book for us. So we're
Yes.
going to transition over.
Yes. Yes. We have Latina born Dominican, and she is a mother. She is she's not a wife. She's an entrepreneur. She has a day job. She just closed on her house. It's I don't know if it's a dream house, but she loves the house. Like she's, this might be for her forever house. But she's doing all this as a single mom.
Wow.
And she is she plays my boss in a movie that I'm filming right now. Um, I'm her hitman. So I would like to welcome my boss, Esther.
Ester Quezada, welcome to Hoy en Día TV. Bienvenida.
Hey,
Muchas
boss.
gracias. Buenas noches a todos. Good evening, everyone.
Buenas
Hey, boss.
noches. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be with you guys tonight.
We're happy to have you here as well.
Yes,
Thank you
thank you so much for being
for
on.
accepting. Yes.
All right, so Esther, tell us the $1,000,000 question that I always like to start the conversation with is who is Ester Quezada? ¿Quién es Ester Quezada?
Esther is a young lady who was born in Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
I came to this country when I was 8 years old with lots of dreams. Thank you to my mom for giving me the opportunity and to bringing us here into the United States. And I was always a young girl who liked crafting and very interested in learning new things and putting my hands on everything. And I like to sew. I started sewing at 8 years old. My grandmother bought me my first sewing machine at 8 years old. My mother always encouraged it. So it's always been in my blood, just the crafting part of
Right.
who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Yes. Do you ever have a chance to go back to the DR to visit family?
Oh, yes. I go every year.
And she
That is
posts the pictures like we're here in the
Dominicana.
States. We don't want to see that. We can't be there with you, No, look, she looks like she has a ball out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
now my mom. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
oh,
go
no, I
ahead.
was going to say, I'm sure. Yeah, like you have a ball. Manny said you'd be having a blast over there. And I said, I'm sure you do.
Yes, my mom now lives out there, so it's so much easier to travel
Right.
and go to her house.
Right. So what else does Miss Esther do? I know you said crafting, but there are
I'm
other
a
things
crafter.
that you do. Yes.
Yes, I'm also a photographer. I love
Mhm.
photography. I think that when it's so unique when you're able to look at something and see the beauty in it, and bring it to life through pictures.
Right.
It's always been one of my it was a hobby at once and now it's one of my businesses.
Awesome. Awesome.
I also now I've only been in Florida for 3 years, 3.5 years now. So I'm trying to start my empire now here. In New Jersey, I was, an entrepreneur. I was doing photography. I was doing events. I do events. I love decorating and bringing um, things to life through
Mm-hmm.
my, client's vision.
All right.
So that's something I love to do as well.
Yeah, I could tell you definitely brought that Christmas tree behind you to life. It looks beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Yes,
Really?
it's very colorful. Like like my mom's really a traditional. She loves Halloween and Christmas. Those are her favorite, and Thanksgiving only because she knows she makes her pumpkin pie. Um, but Christmas, like she just likes the traditional, green tree. Lately she's been venturing off, but I think she would think that that tree is pretty. Like it is. It's really colorful. I like it.
Thank you,
It's
thank
different.
you. Well,
Yeah.
this is my white room. When people come into my house, the first thing they see is my white furniture, and they're like, "Oh, wow, this is really nice." I'm an interior decorator, so I enjoy putting things together and just seeing the person's vision and my vision. It's just I just it's my passion.
Oh, so we got the privilege to see the white room.
Yes.
It's so great.
Oh, that's beautiful. And so let me ask you this, because I remember in listening to you, you mentioned that you came to the States at age 8, and you go to the DR often, once a year, right? At least yearly. So
Yes.
how would you describe la cultura, especially around this time here, the differences between the festivities that the DR has? Because I can share what happens in Puerto Rico, but I want to hear what happens in the DR compared to what we see in the States, because a lot of people don't know culturally
Right.
that in the Caribbean, we have a lot of fun when it comes to the holidays. Would you
All right.
agree?
Oh
That's
yes.
a good
Oh
question.
yes. In DR hacemos parranda, igual que Puerto Rico.
Okay.
We love going to our family homes and doing cooking and puerco asado, roast pig is never out of the kitchen for the holidays. Um, we definitely the best one is we have the apples for Christmas and New Year's. We have the grapes. You need 12 grapes, and at midnight you have to eat each grape and say a wish for each grape. That's a
Ooh,
tradition we have.
Okay.
that sounds interesting. And
Yeah.
so this
Very
happens at
It
interesting.
Christmas?
does. What'd you say?
This
Yes.
happens at Christmas?
For we do the grapes for New Year's because it's
Mhm.
for 12 months. For the New Year, you make a wish for each grape, which symbolizes each month of the year. For Christmas, when you go to DR, you see the vendors outside selling apples, red apples, and just your typical fruits and stuff. But the apple's a big thing for Christmas over there.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. So we
In
learned something
addition to,
new.
would you say, Manny?
I said we learned something new.
We did. That's
Yes.
I
interesting.
enjoy
In addition to the weather, I'm sure being beautiful and nice and
it.
toasty for everybody.
All
Well,
right.
the weather actually is very nice in December because it's not as hot. Like the summer months are really, really hot. So December, January, we have like a chill where you actually have to wear a sweater in the evenings, depending on where you're at.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So for a person like me, because I want to go to the DR and I've never been, what would you recommend I do as a tourist or what have you? Like, because I love sightseeing, I love anything historical and just that teaches me something I love. I love archaeology and all that extra stuff. Where would you recommend I go? And this is also for the listeners and viewers who haven't had a
All right.
chance to visit the Dominican Republic as well.
Historical stuff, definitely the capital, Santo
Okay.
Domingo, is where all the history is for when it comes to El Faro and all this other stuff. That's where it is in La Capital. Tourists, definitely Punta Cana. That's it's been the happening spot for the past, I want to say 5-6 years or even more. You have Samana, you have like so many parts of our country that is so beautiful that it
Mhm.
sightseeing. There's so many water sports you can do. They have those, how do you call them? They go through the mud, the RVs, or I don't know what they're
ATVs?
called.
The
The
four.
motor things, the four wheelers, yeah, the four wheelers. They do that a lot. A lot of horseback riding. To see we have beautiful waterfalls. So yeah, there's definitely a lot to do in DR.
Yeah, we
That
definitely got
is
to go out there.
amazing. Yes. And it sounds like it reminds me of Puerto Rico también, porque ellos tienen ATVs and horsebacks and all
Right.
that. And on
Yes,
top of the
yes.
scenery as well. So that is awesome to see. And when I go to Puerto Rico, I see a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm from the DR," and they come to Puerto Rico, and I'm sure it's vice versa because we're so close.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
how would you say culturally? How has that influenced you with you being a visionary now, with you creating beautiful, like you said, you have this gorgeous Christmas tree behind you, and interior designing with photography. How would you say culturally that has influenced you?
Well, when my mother left me in DR when she came to this country, I've always been like sort of a tomboy when it comes to like I wasn't scared of grabbing a machete and cutting trees down and
Mhm.
creating like a little hut and stuff like that. And culturally, like in my country, the way that the designs of the architectural homes and buildings and the decor, like we have, it's amazing. You go to DR and I'm like, wow. You go into some of these people's homes and it's just amazed me, the way they make these homes so beautiful. And I, when I was younger, I would go to DR and I'm like, you know, I want to do that someday. I want to do that. I want to be able to say that I created that for someone and make that room look so beautiful. So with that said, I've always had a lot of stuff that we make in DR in my house. I love our culture and the stuff that we actually make with our hands in Dominican Republic. I have a lot of that in my house as well.
Okay.
What are some
So
of the
that
things
had
that
a lot
you?
of influence.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That had a lot of influence in how I vision different things, the way in my country things are made and done.
Awesome. What are some of the you said there's things that are done by hand. What are some of the things that you all do by hand?
Well, in my country, we make like mecedoras. How do you call them? Rocking chairs. We make like a lot of pottery stuff. I've
Okay.
actually traveled on a plane with pottery from my country, like literally
Really?
pay extra just to be able to bring some of the stuff. In my country, we on February 8th, which is our independence, we do the Diablo Cajuil, where they have, you know, those carnival face masks and they have these balloons that they hit people with in the street, which is not fun because they hurt. But I brought home like those masks that they make to put on your wall.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, the
Wow.
culture. I mean, my culture is just, you know, I love everything about my my country. So
It sounds like a lot of fun, and I love hearing about different cultures and different just traditions that you've shared. So I appreciate you sharing that. So tell me more about what they throw balloons at you in the street. I want to know about more
yeah,
about
they
that.
do. They do. It's now I think they have like a law now that they don't allow you to hit the little kids because they hit you with these. I don't know how hard what they're made out of, but they're like these balloons, and they just start whipping people with it. And like I've seen people with black and blues from when they hit you.
Thank you.
But it's like a whole fun carnival thing, and you know, it's just part of the culture.
Do you have to consent to that, or they just randomly like hit
No,
you and
they
say,
just
"Hey,
randomly, yes,
Right.
they just
That's
randomly go to you and like hit you with
that's like some
it.
S&M type stuff. That's weird.
that's funny"?
So I had a question, and then it went away when she started talking about the balloons. Like that's some S&M crazy stuff. Like what the? So, um, being a single mom, what pushes you to just continue to strive for better? Because not only are you an entrepreneur because you still do events and you still do photography and now you're an actress. You could add that to your resume as well. What pushes you? What drives you to be better than what you were the day before?
Actually, you hit the head on the nail. That's how you say it.
Yeah, I believe.
They are they are the drive. They're the steering wheel of my car.
Hmm.
Without a steering wheel, you can't drive your car.
Right.
Without gas, you can't drive your car. Everything that I've done in my life has been, well, not everything in my life, because I became a mom at 33. But since I became a mom, my goals have my vision for life is always seeing my daughters in a better place.
Hmm.
Maybe give them what I couldn't have when I was little,
Right.
because of the circumstances. But they are the motor to my car. Like everything that I'm striving for, especially now starting my business here in Florida, is for them.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Definitely.
Any of them following in your footsteps?
My little one likes to crochet. I
Ooh.
gave her some of my yarn,
Uh-huh.
and she started going into YouTube and stuff. And she's like, "Mom, teach me." I said, "I learned on my own, watching some YouTube videos." And she's like, when and better than me, she started making these stuffed animals and all this great stuff that she actually surprised me. She's very
That's awesome.
talented, very
That's
talented.
awesome.
My Yes, very talented. My oldest, she actually likes to sing. I love to sing, but I can't sing. I would break windows. But she loves to sing and she likes to draw and paint. So I encourage that too.
Cool.
Anything that has to be with the arts, I always encourage.
That's awesome. That's definitely
That
awesome.
is
'Cause
awesome.
what we try to do here, I'll let Yessie say the spiel, but we just try to. What's the spiel, Yessie? Go for it.
Yes, absolutely. So with Oyandia TV, our goal is to positively motivate, enlighten, educate, inspire, and entertain you with each and every episode.
Nice.
Right. So just because we know a lot of single moms watch this, and it's like a lot of single moms are like, "Oh, I have a child, I can't do, follow my dreams, or I can't start that business, or I can't be an entrepreneur, or I can't be an actress, photographer." But just having you on and seeing that you are breaking those barriers, if we reach one person or one single mom and they actually, walk through that door that they say they couldn't walk through, I feel happy. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we do the show, to
Absolutely.
try to, encourage people to do something outside the box, step through that door,
Yes.
and you're doing it. So
Thank you,
that's very
thank you for
exciting.
those kind words. It's
That's
it's
very,
definitely a struggle, but at the end of the day, I think anything's possible if you put your mind to it, your effort. There's days that I just want to give up. I'm tired, exhausted. I'm always doing something, but I'm a go type of person. I never let anything bring me down.
right.
I've been through a lot in the past year, but God, I'm a believer that there's a God, and things do happen for a reason. Because at one point, what the things that I thought was a curse, now I see why
All
it
right.
happened. Now I see why my life has changed, and it's all for the better. I am excited about this new uh what's the word I want to use, the future that I'm living now, and or what that I'm dreaming of right now, and things are falling into place. I thought I wasn't going to be where I'm at right now, actually, about a year ago,
Right. Right.
and doors are opening for me. And definitely, you have to put your effort. You have to make things happen. Things are not just going to fall in your lap.
Right.
Um, but I'm just a believer that when you want something, you just go and get it. You go and get it.
Right.
Doors
Yeah.
were closed. Doors were closed. People would say no,
Right.
uh, and you would probably say, "Oh, I can't do it." But you know what? Another door will open.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for my mom, my sister, my immediate family. If it wasn't for them, you know, that's definitely a plus when you have support. It's
Right.
definitely a plus.
Exactly. I agree. Like um like you said, it's definitely difficult. Being
Hmm.
successful is definitely difficult, but if as long as you stay consistent and you keep pushing forward, something's going to happen, because if you stay still, nothing's going to happen. You have to be in motion for something to happen,
Yes.
and it's definitely going to be difficult. I All y'all single moms that are out there working a job and taking care of children and trying to be an entrepreneur, like I praise, like I don't have words for how y'all are doing things, because it's difficult enough to raise a child and to raise it right, because you can raise a child, but whether it's right or not, you know what I'm saying? But to raise a child, still provide food and put, a roof over their heads, and still try to chase your dreams. Like I you know, and
Hmm.
a lot of
Mhm.
guys, they complain, oh, this is time. I complain. Like, I didn't want to go to work this morning, but you know what? I got my ass up and went to work. But it's like,
Tell me about it.
I put myself in perspective every day and be like, a lot of these single women that are out here that are doing, twice of what I'm doing, and they don't complain to anybody, because they know that at the end of the day, something's going to happen, and, they're going to move forward and be successful. So that's awesome.
That is awesome. Esther, I have two follow-up questions and listening to you and Manny chat. First, you mentioned earlier when you were sharing your motivation, your daughters, um, and that time where you sometimes feel like giving up or not doing something.
Uh-oh, she
What
froze.
words of encouragement and what do you tell yourself to keep pushing? Who froze? I froze?
No, you're good now.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What words of motivation or encouragement do you tell yourself to keep pushing para seguir empujando, seguir por
Adelante.
delante, to make sure that that negativity doesn't affect you? And I'm asking this for those individuals who sometimes have that moment to say, mm, not today, but you have to keep pushing. Like Manny said, you have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely one of the biggest things, and my mom, I swear, my mom has been my inspiration. Like, I don't want to tear up, but she came to this country and she worked her behind to give us what she could, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're where we are right now for our upbringing. And my daughter tells her the other day, because now my mom likes to fly first class, and she said, "Grandma, you're rich, my grandma." And she's like, "No, I'm not rich. These are just the fruits of my labor. Now I'm able
All right.
to enjoy life, and yes, not probably to the fullest of how she wishes, but she lives a pretty good life right now, and she's able to take a flight and say, I'm flying first class today." um but my mom used to work in a warehouse. We used to go see her, and she had this white outfit on and her a thing in her hair and sweating, and I don't know how she did it, but she did it for 30 something years. That
Wow.
was for one job. And she was lucky that she had a great husband, or has a great husband, who was also someone that got her to where they are now. And that's my inspiration, that it doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have, a degree. You just have to be motivated that, what you have, you're going to go for that and more. And that's what I dream of right now. Some days I'm like, oh, I wish I could buy that, and I can't do it right now because of circumstances. But it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't stop me. I keep going. I keep pushing. And I met Manny, and Manny's like been a motivation for me too, because he gets me inspired. Like, you're great. You're doing so much, and I know you're gonna do, you're gonna do more and better good things here in Florida, in Jacksonville.
Appreciate that.
And I appreciate this interview because I've never been interviewed before, and I feel so excited right now. I was so happy about it, that you guys, have me live today, and I'm able to speak about who Esther is, and my upbringings, and my where I want to go in life
All right.
with my business. And yes, I do appreciate this. I'm very, very blessed right now.
When I put you on our schedule months ago,
Yes,
it's
in
been
like
months.
June.
I just hearing the little bit about what I heard since I've known you and knowing about your daughters, and you with the house situation, and just trying to provide like a better life for your kids. And I just felt like there's somebody out there that is just like Esther that needs to hear
Hmm.
what Esther has to say, So I was like, we need to have her on the show. And then, you could always promote your businesses, the photography. I don't know if you still have the 360 booth, but
Yes.
that you have the 360 booth. Look at that. Photography. Now you're an actress, So yeah. So there's somebody out there that needs to hear what you're telling us.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. And so, Esther, let's take it back to the beginning when you first had this epiphany or this idea about starting the photography business or starting the event planning or starting the interior designing and all the other amazing things that you do. Walk us through what helped you get to that point where you made a decision to say, yes, esto es lo que voy a hacer y voy a seguir por delante. How did you transition from not really doing anything to now doing all these amazing things?
Well, from my have being when I had my daughter, my firstborn, that's when I said to myself, I don't want to work for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to do it, I will do it, which I'm working for someone else right now because I'm new to Florida, and just some unforeseen things happened after I moved here. But now I do work for someone else, and that's why I'm trying my best to start my business here, where I can get it going, where I can say, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
to the company that I'm working for, thank you so much for the opportunity, because I love what I do right now. It's actually in the field that it's actually in the field that I love doing, with sewing and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, my goal is to say, Rainbows by Esther is my main bread and butter. And I'm teaching my daughters that they I want to start working. I want them to start thinking like entrepreneurs, where yes, I want you to go to school. I want you to get your degree. But don't think that while you're in school, you just want to work for somebody else to make $10, $15 an hour. Like, I want you to think of what you can do with your gift that God has given you, your creativity. My daughter, her painting and singing. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's nourish that and see where we can go with that in life. Um, and if that's not what they want to do, at least think as an entrepreneur. You start your business, and there's just so many ideas and so many things you can do. I believe that this is hard sometimes, but when I hear people say, "Oh, I can't find a job," or "There's nothing," there's so many ways to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So many ways,
Mm-hmm.
and not the bad ways. There's a lot of good ways to make money. And that's what I that's what keeps me going. When I wake up every morning, is thanking God for a new day, and definitely for what I have.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome.
Mm-hmm. What sparked your interest in photography? Did you have someone that you grew up like admiring, or did you have a uncle or a cousin or a friend who did photography, and you're like, "Oh, I want to do photography"? Like, what really sparks that interest in photography?
I think it's just in my blood. My dad was someone. My dad passed away when I was 2 years old, but for the years that he was on this earth, all I've heard was good things about him. How he was a mechanic. He was like he was hands on everything, and that's my mom is like, you're just like your dad. You're just a woman. So it's just in me. I bought a camera once because I wanted to do photography. I've never gone to school for it. Um, it's just I saw I once you look through that eye and you're able to look at something and say that's beautiful and take a picture and smile. It's just I don't have anybody in my family actually that did photography at the time that I took on photography. The same thing um with decorations. Like it's always just I just love doing when I create something for a client, a family member, a friend, and they tell me, wow, just them telling me how much they loved it and how beautiful it is, like that makes my day. The outcome of it, it's really amazing.
And that's where the passion comes in. Like
That's where the passion comes.
Right. For some people, for people like you and I and Yessie, it's not really about the money. It's about the expression on that person's face, or the tears that are coming down their eyes because you made them so happy. That fills your heart. You know what I'm saying? And it's like no amount of money can top that feeling. You know? Yeah.
That's true.
I started sewing at like by hand when I was after that machine. I remember my mother always tells me, you remember that dress you made? We were like 14 and I went to a wedding with it. Like I even made gloves and everything by hand. And she always talks about it, but that's just me. It's in me. Like that's my creativity. It's just, I look at things. Right now I have chickens now in my backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, I love like nature. I love creating. I love, doing different things.
Yes, I seen the chickens. I was like,
I think that was really cool.
You got a rooster too, or just the chickens?
No rooster, no rooster. No rooster. No rooster.
That's actually really smart. And if I live somewhere warmer, I would definitely be investing in chickens. Porque hoy en día con la comida que tienen en el supermercado, no sé si puedo confiar en eso, pero.
Look, my mom sent me a picture of some tomatoes, $6 for. Yeah, I was like, what?
$6 para el tomate.
6 something. Yeah.
Well,
I was like, yeah.
In the summertime, I also I have my little garden.
Yeah, tan caro allá. It's expensive right now.
Ella está en Puerto Rico, ¿verdad?
Sí. Yeah. No. And I believe that was in Sam's or what's the other store she goes to? I can't remember. I'm not going to hold it up, but I can't remember. Huh?
Costco? No.
No. It's in Puerto Rico. I don't think they have a Costco out there. I know they have a Sam's. I've been to the Sam's. I know they have a Sam's. They have a Sam's. No, there's another one that she goes to. I can't remember. Hey,
I just gave somebody an idea to do the competition for Sam's. Open up a Costco. I'm just saying. You know?
Yeah, I just went to Costco and spent $400, and I'm like, what happened? Everything's so expensive.
It is. It is.
So this is an egg from a chicken. It's a blue egg. They lay blue eggs.
Ooh, that's
blue.
It's
I can
blue.
I can see around it. You see around the hue. You see the hue is blue.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, they're blue. They're blue. They're blue.
So I'm interested to know cómo que eso pasa? Like what causes it to turn blue compared to what
it's the breed. It's the breed of that chicken.
Oh, so are they?
So this one is an Easter. Oh yeah, they're Easter eggers. Gina.
Oh.
That's my 12-year-old.
I know she's popping her head out in the background.
She's trying to be the cat.
Hello,
she's saying hi.
Hi, but yeah, see, like this is it right here. Like just having you on the show and your daughter just loving to be around you and wanting to be actually on the show. You know, that's what people want to see, like normalcy. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much in social media right now that people are trying to strive for, and they don't see what happens behind the scenes. Like you and I already know. I and Yessie already know. Like there's so much behind the scenes that people don't see. All they see is some pictures that somebody took, or an event that they were at, probably that it wasn't even a vacation, but they'll lie and say they were on vacation. They don't see how hard it is to actually live life and become an entrepreneur and
And not only that, Manny, and sorry to interrupt you, just by showing you the eggs, I am trying very hard to teach my daughters things of culture, like of how I was brought up.
Right.
I have them outside with me. We make fires outside. We have the chickens. They love picking up the eggs. They play with the chickens. They play with lizards. I encourage it. I encourage anything that has to do with the outdoors. Just because nowadays the kids are just stuck to a phone, to their computers, to a TV.
Exactly.
I try to do a lot of outdoor things with them. Sometimes I want to do more and I can't because of life, but I definitely encourage just stuff that they can do outdoors instead of just being cooped up in a house. And just
right. Yeah, it's definitely good for them to know because they'll be able to survive. Like my mom taught me ever since I was a kid. She said, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so you won't have to depend on a woman for the rest of your life. She taught me how to sew, cook, clean, take care of myself. And my father told me how to fix cars. So like, I've always been like you, a hands-on person, and that art is being lost because kids, all they want to do is sit in front of a TV or a phone screen, and they don't even know how to fix a tire. Like, it's a lost art now, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah, I commend you for, showing them how to be real people and not just robots.
Oh, they help me build stuff outside too. I'm building another shed, and they're like, "Mom, we're building another shed." And yes, we are. We're building another shed.
I love it. Yes. And these are great skills that you're showing them. Like Manny said, as life happens, no sabemos el futuro. We don't know what the future holds. And at least they'll have those life skills where they can self-depend and self-survive and be able to do things because you are teaching those qualities and instilling those qualities in them. So I salute you. That's amazing.
Right.
Thank you.
I can predict it. The Mad Max era is definitely coming. Yes. What day is today?
12/19.
12/19. Remember that I said it. When we get into the Mad Max era, you're going to be like, damn, Manny was right.
I'm going to have to watch Mad Max because I can't. I haven't watched it.
I got to go.
You
watched Mad Max, right, Esther?
No, I don't.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Esther. ¿Viste? Sabemos quién es Mad Max. Estás solito. I'm sorry.
No, there's people out there hey, who's on live right now? Who's watched Mad Max before? I know somebody's
I will say this.
Mad Max.
I've heard of Mad Max. I just haven't watched.
Yeah, you got to watch the old one though, the first one with Mel Gibson on it.
¿Cuándo fue eso? When did it come out?
Years ago. That was like the 80s. Yeah. But it was like the government fell. It was just a wasteland and people were fending for themselves. It was like the zombie apocalypse, but without the zombies. Yeah. That's the Mad Max era. And
I'm going to watch Mad Max.
Ask Ra. Ra probably seen it. He from the city.
Oh, I'm sure he's seen it.
Yeah,
I'm sure he has. Ra one, have you seen Mad Max? If you have, write us up.
Yeah.
So Esther, let's talk a little bit more about your business. How can people find you? Si quieren trabajar contigo, ¿cómo te pueden conseguir to book you?
I have my website is rainbowsbyester.com. Also, they can email me at info@rainbows.com. Or they can call my business number, which I don't know it by heart.
But she looked over.
It is 904-999-0824.
Okay.
And remind the audience what services you offer.
Right.
Currently, I'm offering photography, event planning, and I have the rental of my 360 photo booths
Mm-hmm.
and my stand-up photo booth.
Oh, you got another photo booth? Hold on, I
Yes,
thought
I
it
have
was only
two.
the 360.
No, I have the 360 and the stand-up photo booth as well.
Okay.
But all that information is on my website.
Okay. And what was
What's
the
the main
website again?
difference? Oh, go ahead.
Rainbows by
.com?
Esther.com, yes.
Okay. What were you saying, Yessie?
I just want to know the difference between the two photo booths.
Oh.
Well, one is just a stand-up photo booth, and what I do is for both, I can create a backdrop for it.
Mm-hmm.
So one is just your regular stand-up, and I have props if you would like props, glasses and hats and whatnot, and different signs. The 360 photo booth is a circle. I'm pretty sure you've seen them at different events, like
Mhm.
red carpet events and stuff like that. It is a round platform, and then it has a hand that goes around with the actual phone or the tablet. So when you're actually not moving, you're standing dancing, but the effect of the this arm that goes around the platform, it actually looks like you're going in circles and you're dancing. It's really fun. People love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay,
Definitely cool.
cool. Well, then,
So
yes,
I
check out the website. Repeat it one
Yes.
more
yes,
time for the viewers and listeners.
it's Rainbows by Esther.com. And
Awesome.
Esther without an H.
Right. There you go. That's important.
Oh, absolutely. So it's ESTER, Rainbows by ESTER.com.
ER.
Check her
Dot
out.
com. Correct.
What's new? What's coming up in the future, Esther? What you got planned?
My next plan is just I just moved into our new home almost 3 months ago. So my goal right now is at the end of the year is just finish what I have to finish here at the house, and then just grab that bull by the horn and get my business going for 2025.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna definitely keep looking. I'll be looking out for what you got going on. Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Wow. We've had another amazing
Yes,
episode. I mean, we
it's been
always have
amazing.
amazing episodes
Yes,
here at
yes,
Hoy en Día TV. Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing your story, a little bit
yes.
about
Very
La
enlightening.
Cultura Dominicana, what people can
Yeah.
expect if they visit the DR, and
Watch
just
out for
about
the
you and
balloons.
who you are. What'd you say, Bunny?
Watch out for the balloons.
Oh, right. That part.
That's only
That part.
February. That's only
Just in
February
case. Just
28th.
in case. You never know.
That part. Yes. Watch
Right.
out for
And it's
those
just
balloons in
carnival,
February.
carnival.
Para carnaval. Yes. And so we have reached a point where it is for the last minute words before we
Yes.
transition out. And
Yes.
so usually, I mean, we always have Manny lead us. So Manny, start the last minute words. Lead us into that transition.
I thought you were going to say, we usually let Manny lead, so I'm going to go ahead this time. Okay. So, as I usually say, never let the fear of failure overcome the righteousness of success. And I don't define success as financial necessarily. Success could be emotional, physical. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial, you know. And whatever makes you happy, if it's money, okay, cool. That's what you want, you know. That's what makes you happy. But never let that roadblock that just appeared in your way stop you from the goal that you've been trying to achieve. If you don't stay consistent, it's not going to happen. You have to continuously move forward for something to happen. Never stay still. um, and try and keep that success, whatever it is, financial, emotional, physical, in your hindsight, so that way you'll never lose focus, and you'll always be striving for that one goal. um, you can follow me on IG and Facebook, Manny Morales, author Manny Morales, authormannymorales.com. If you want a book, just hit me up. I'll sign one and I'll send it to you. My model page is Manny Morales. Manny Morales 1824. And Love Is Our Magic, the series, is definitely coming soon, 2025. Keep a lookout. The Morales movement is always in effect. Now, Esther, it is your turn. Inspire the people with something from the heart, so that way they'll know, they'll feel that struggle that you had to go through, and the happiness that you have now, even though you struggle to get up every morning for work, but but you keep motivated because of something. Help them see, inspire them.
Well, my words for inspiration will be these. When I get up in the morning, I say to myself, when a year and a half ago, when I thought my world was crumbling and I was not going to see the light, and now I'm so thankful every morning that it doesn't matter how hard a, a time can be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Always think positive, stay positive, because it will get better. It will get better. And once you pass that bridge, then you're like, now I know why I went through that. Now I see this was motivation for me to keep moving, because I could have easily crumbled and just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, been in a worse place. And I said, no, I would not let this define who Esther is. And my girls need me. So that kept me motivated. And
Right.
that's what keeps me motivated today, is that every day it just gets better. I have my bad days. I have my days where, like you said, I don't want to get up, but I don't let that define my day. I just keep positive. I know that I'm their role model, and they're looking at what I'm doing. So I am trying very hard to stay as straightforward with my life and doing the right thing, so they see that, you know what, my mom did it the same way I see how my mom did it. And that's what keeps me going.
Right. Right. That's one cycle you don't want to break. That success cycle.
Correct.
Those bad cycles that most Latino families have. Those are the ones that we really want to break. But that cycle that you're giving your children, that your mom gave you, that instilled that inspiration, that's a cycle you really don't want to break. So let them know where they can find you again, just in case.
Yes, definitely. Rainbowsbyester.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can email me at info@rainbowsbyester.com, or you can give me a call at 904-999-0824.
Awesome. Awesome. What about your IG and Facebook? The
IG is the same, Rainbows by Esther, and Facebook is also Rainbows by Esther.
Awesome, because they might want to follow you, so they can
Yes,
see what
definitely.
you got going on, because that's also an inspiration too. When you post pictures of things that you do and the success that you have, that really inspires people.
And now becoming an actress, this is something
Yes,
new for me.
yes.
So it's definitely scary, because I've never done this before. But it's amazing when I get to see myself on,
Right.
on set, or when I see when the producers are, putting the pictures together and the videos and stuff, and it's amazing.
You don't know why I'm laughing, Yessie, but our first shot, her first shoot, like all she did was this, standing there.
Oh, I was shaking.
And
I was so
everybody,
nervous.
everybody would kept telling her, "You got to stop moving from
Stop
side to side."
swaying, stop swaying.
And she kept giggling, like she kept laughing. She wouldn't stop laughing. But she did great. Like she did great. I could see her in a bunch of other movies. Like she's definitely gonna make a positive impact. But we
Thank you,
appreciate
thank you.
having you. You're welcome. We are
Thank you for
definitely.
having me.
You're welcome. Now, Yassi, it is your turn. We will let you close out as you usually do with your
Right. I mean,
inspirational
hey,
30
that's the
words.
pattern. You start, I close. So this is how it goes. All right. Well, first, Esther, I want to say thank you again. I echo Manny's words. It's been a pleasure, an amazing opportunity to have you here at OMD at TV to share your story and really motivate and impact the people in a positive way. Esa es el propósito de Hoy en Día TV. That's the purpose of what we have Hoy en Día TV, is to motivate, enlighten, educate, inspire, and entertain each and every episode. And so we have definitely done that here today. So I thank you. Manny, shout out to you for always being a dope co-host. And also for the listeners and viewers, thank you for always supporting. Yes. And for those who want to be sponsors, hey, we welcome you as well. There's an email strolling at the bottom of the page or of the view of your screen, hoyendiatv@gmail.com. We have different sponsor packages available. Also, if you want to be a guest on Hoy en Día TV, I will say this: we welcome you, but we are booked out to like July. So, so just a disclaimer there. We welcome you, but you're just going to have to be on the wait list. I mean, and that's, we both, me and Manny, shout out to God for that, because Hoy en Día has grown so much, so immensely. And I just shout out to God for just his blessing. Yes. And also to the supporters, the sponsors, the viewers, the listeners. Thank you, because this is why we do Hoy en Día TV. And we want to be that beacon of light for that negativity that shines in this world. If you notice, when you turn on TV, when you look at social media, when you look at your cell phone, what have you, there's so much negativity. And we just want to be able to provide you with that boost of energy, that motivation, and say, hey, keep going. Queremos ser esa voz para decirte, sigue empujando porque se puede lograr. Se puede hacer, lo puedes lograr y lo vas a hacer. Okay. And that's what we are here for. It's for Hoy en Día TV. And also, I'm going to give some shine to our sponsors. And so we have Collective Wear, author Manny Morales, and we have Divine Beauty and Accessories. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Sponsored by
author Manny Morales. Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories.
Watch Hoy en Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
So again, if you want to be a sponsor or just donate to Hoy en Día TV, hoyendiatv@gmail.com. We welcome you. Sponsor packages are available. And to close out, I will say this, as per usual, Manny has his quote, but I have my quote as well, because I like to, enlighten people too. All right. So for those who don't know or are not yet aware, there's a carbon line that sets the boundary between Earth's atmosphere before it turns into outer space. That old saying, the sky's the limit. I don't like that saying. The sky's the limit. You're putting a boundary in yourself. If you think logically, you're putting a boundary in yourself. And this is why. Because there's actually a line called the Kármán line, Karman line, which is a boundary that is 62 miles above the sea level that borders Earth's atmosphere. So every time you tell yourself the sky's the limit, you're technically setting yourself a limit, because you're limiting yourself. So the quote that I came up with back in 2011, so it's been years ago, because we're in 2024 now. The sky is never the limit, because the galaxies are endless. So thank you for watching another episode of Hoy en Día TV. See you next time.
Bye.